Okay, what's going on, boys? Nogats here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to go over the 5-2-1-2 custom tactics and instructions. As usual, I'm going to walk you through it, both for old gen and new gen, and let's get it started. So, the defensive style now. This 5-1-2-2 and 5-2-1-2 is very, very similar. Think of this formation like a 3-5-2, but with a left mid and right mid. That's the way you want to think about it. And then one thing that's more important than anything in this formation is these left mids and right mids. Now, people like to use left mids and right mids for the sole reason they're a bit more attacking in play. But the left back and right back in this formation, they are basically unmarked when you go forward. So think of this like a 3-5-2 alternative, but if you prefer more of the wider play, you like these wingers to be as wide as possible down these areas, then this is the formation for you. So don't forget, we are defending in a 5-2-1. There's nothing funky going on here. We're just using pressure and heavy touch. Pressing is very effective in this formation. This is an attacking formation, and to be honest, balanced I think is still the best. But you press after possession loss, it does give you that benefit of that you press every single time you lose the ball. But with pressure on heavy touch is a more conservative approach. It's basically like balanced, but when the game decides that your opponent takes a heavy, we know how bad touches are this game. Lesser dribbling is a big issue. Then the team, they press together, as you can see. So it's actually a really good alternative. So you only apply pressure when there's a chance to do so, and there's a good chance to win the ball back. And that way you don't jeopardize your position, because sometimes when these guys are far forward, you're only going to have a back three at the back. So remember that. Then we go over to the width. So we've just increased the width just a tad bit here to 55. Just so when we're off the ball, we're just a bit more wider, but we're still neutral. They still play very centralized in the central column. So there's nothing too extravagant there. It doesn't really make that much of a difference to what you think. Even if you put this to 80, they still retain their formation shape, their formational shape, should I say. The depth even increases to 65. So we're not delving into the automatic offside territory. Even though it's been changed a bit this year, but we just want to be as high up the pitch as possible. The reason for this is when you win the ball back, you want your strikers, your two strikers in your camp to be quite far up, and that way you get ready for the counter-attack. The way you want to look at this formation is think of this like a 4-1-2-1-2 with a left mid and right mid. So if you use a left back and right back in a 4-1-2-1-2, you might as well use this formation. Not only is it more attacking, the left back and right back offer a lot more versatility, and then you have a back three if you do lose the ball. Think of this like the most OP version of a 4-1-2-1-2. The 4-1-2-1-2 second variation killer that I can assure you. Build up play, fast build up play. You want those left backs and right backs to swing far properly. You want them to rise and quickly go forward. And that also kind of goes in line pressure and every touch. If you win the ball back high up the pitch, let's say for example you win the ball back, as you can see in the diagram, let's say here, you want that left back and right back to assist you when you win the ball back in the attack. So fast build up play, and also from a defensive phase, the key thing is these left backs and right backs, they remained unmarked, and that is the key. Same as the 5-1-2-2 really. The chance creation, now I've left this on forward runs. I think this is the best way. I know people use direct passing, but I still think forward runs is really the better option over here as well. Then we go over to the width, 55. Nothing crazy going on there. Very neutral, I would say, just a few above. Players in the box, we got it on 6, or we can put it on 7. It doesn't matter because we've got the instructions really to alter this. Corners and free kicks on 1. Okay, now we get into the nitty gritty. Why this formation over the 5-1-2-2? Now, the 5-1-2-2 is a bit more defensive. You have that CDM, okay? So this would be the defensive. So you have kind of a midfield 3. So think of this more like a 5-3-2. That's the way you want to look at it. The 5-3-2 is like a balanced version. Then you have the 5-1-2-2, which is a more defensive version. And then you have the 5-2-1-2, which is the most attacking formation. It's been my favorite formation since they changed customization in FIFA 19. Definitely my top 3 of all time. For those of you my OG viewers, you'll know FIFA 19 when this was the real meta back then when left backs are unmarked for the El Tornadoes. It's been OP since then. As I said, when they go forward, they remain unmarked. People prefer this bit better because you have 2 centre mids and they're more tighter together. So you can argue you control more of the central area of the pitch. That's why I don't want to put the width too high. If the width is too high, there's too much gaps between these two players. You don't want that gap to be exploited. So keeping it very neutral. They both uncover center. The key thing is being this cam. This cam changes this formation. It's very similar to the 3-5-2. If you look at the 3-5-2 shape here, I'm just going to scroll down as I forgot it's the other way. 3-5-2, look at this formation. It's the exact same thing. The only difference really here with this is if you look over here, you have a left back and right back. If you look over here, you have a left mid and right mid. That's the only differences. You can argue the 3-5-2 is more defensive because you got 2 CDMs. So then you can talk about the 3-4-1-2. So the 3-4-1-2 and the 5-2-1-2, look how similar it is. See that? There's not that much difference. You're just talking about the left back and right back. Don't forget, this is how it looks on the defensive phase. So realistically, if you put the left mid and right mid on comeback and defense, they're still going to defend in a back five as you would in a 5-2-1-2. The difference is in a 5-2-1-2, you can put these guys on stay back. So you can basically have a back five, whereas a 5-4-1-2 or a 3-5-2, you're basically stuck with the left mid and right mid. You can't leave them on stay back while attacking. That is the key. And that is the key differences between them. I prefer the 5-2-1-2 as a more attacking formation, and it would replace all my 4-1-2-1-2 second variation. So anyway, let's go into the actual instructions. So stay central and stay forward for both the strikers. If you want to, you can put one of the strikers on getting behind. What I normally say is the person. So if you're playing on new gen, you'll have Lenti on Ronaldo, I presume. Then I would say the person who's a bit more agile on the ball, someone like Mbappe is the person you want to put on balance. You can also put, for example, come back on the fence on, for example, the player, just so he's just behind the striker. So it's a bit like this shape. So you've got the cam here, and then the striker's just behind him. And then you have, like, for example, your opponent's 2 CDMs. That way you give that player some space. Well, a little nil guys trick for you over there. Of course, that depends what formation you're using as well. The central cam is on come back in the fence, get into the box for cross. Now, this is very important. When you're defending the flat 5-2, this cam is not going to come back like you would in 4-2-3-1. There's still going to be this gap in between your 2 strikers and your cam and your back 5 and your 2 centre mids. So you might have to bring this player back manually yourself. Come back in the fence is just saying, I want you to come back when we lose possession. Just think of Neymar to be a bit more of a deeper position. Get into the box for a cross, obviously on left back and right backs when they go forward. That is pretty much self-explanatory. You want to get that player inside the box. And that's it. Do not, under any circumstance, use drift wide because your left backs and right backs are going to be the ones in this area. And never use free row, in my opinion, for a cam. With 3 cams, it's different, like in a 4-2-3-1, but the central cam you always want in the middle. You don't want this guy to ever be over there. You want this guy to be available behind the 2 strikers for a 1-2. This is your playmaker, the Neymar. Don't have him on free roam. So make sure this guy's on balance. Now, if you do want to get better at FIFA 23, I do have a FIFA School Series. But just before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say that because I've been running my paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series successfully for many years, and thousands of others have joined already and still stay on. This is for all levels of those that want to improve on FIFA, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These videos are a progressive systematic learning system that teaching you everything from the core mechanics of FIFA to the meta, so you can get better at FIFA as a whole, not just this game, with examples and explanations that go beyond the scope of YouTube videos. With new videos coming out every single week, these videos also adjust to recent updates and patches so you can stay up to date. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/nilguides, link is down below in the description. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos that are specifically made for both new gen and old gen, with new videos in FIFA 23 getting added every single week. We also have an additional group coaching as well that we started this year due to high demand and high request. And don't forget guys, it's a money back guarantee, so if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the Nil Guides guarantee. Anyway, link is down below in the description, patreon.com/nilguides. But anyway, back to the video. For the centre mid, so stay back, cover centre for both of them. What we've done is the more defensive one, we put them on stay on the edge of the box for cross. That way, just if one does go into the middle, at least you just got one on sit back, the more defensive player. I just never want him to go forward, just so you're ready for that counter attack. Ideally, the faster player here should be the one running back. Default for the centre backs. Goalkeeper, you can use sweeper keeper. I would say just be careful on the goalkeeper speed. Try to get a goalkeeper that's fast, of course. That's the main thing being here. And then finally, the left back and right back, the key, stay back while attacking, conservative, and overlap for both of them. So the question is, how do they go forward? Well, if you're a regular Nil Guides viewer, maybe you have a guess, and you probably are correct if you guess correctly. It's the D-pad tactics. For those who don't know here, if you press up on your D-pad, then you press right to activate hug the sidelines. So HS, hug the sidelines. Press up on your D-pad, then you press left. You activate attacking fullbacks or fullbacks during the attack. We're just going to call it AF. You want to use both hug the sidelines, so these players are even wider, and then you want to use attacking fullbacks. I don't know why pros don't use this. I just think, I can only assume they just don't know about it. I think over time, I think there's only a few that maybe do use it, they know about it. They should, because you can variably, like a light switch, have your fullbacks join attack when you want to. You know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's say you're like, wait, no, what's D-pad? I don't know what D-pad tactics are. Just leave them both on during the attack. But the reason why you want to leave them on stay back while attacking, if you want that advanced, is that they will always stay back, but you can always trigger them yourself manually. I can tell you something right now. There's a meta right now with something to do with manual lob passing. And I might as well say it now. Manual lob passing. If you activate the D-pad tactics, you can variably control when those players go forward, and you can get the ball in these such dangerous positions that no one else can defend. And that is the key with them. The problem is that no one really knows about them yet, and to be honest, even to stay back while attacking, people don't really venture down D-pad tactics. So people always ask me, no, why do you do it this way? Because it gives you more control. With attacking fullbacks on join the attack, you lose that control. You know, if you're, for example, winning inside the game, you're like, okay, you know what, I want to stick to a 5-2-1-2. You don't have to pause the game, put these guys on stay back while attacking. Well, why do you do that when you can activate them on a fly anyway? So that's the way that I look at it. But I do really think it's the future for all 5-back formations. It always has been. If you've been watching since FIFA 19, I do my fullbacks to join the attack the exact same way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This will be probably my tactical layout tomorrow. They'll be replacing my 5-3-2-1. It's still a very good formation, but this will be something of a change so we can try some tactics out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA, you can come join my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NilGuides, or you can just click here. If you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money as a course, the Nil Guides guarantee. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, of course. Catch you next time. Peace out.